Alright, welcome to your first screencast ever. Today's screencast is going to be about inappropriate verb changes. So while you're taking your notes, that should be the title, and you should have the date in the upper left-hand corner in the margin. When you're writing, a lot of you change verb tenses without realizing it. So you might start off in the past tense and talking about way back when, and then all of a sudden your character is hopping down the street, and then all of a sudden it's way back when and they've already ate breakfast, and it kind of loses your reader. And the reason that we do this is because we kind of talk like that. We change tenses when we talk, but when you have a narrative, you want to make sure that you're staying in the full tense. So anytime you're writing, you need to decide if it's a story that's taking in the past, if it's taking place in the future, or if it's taking place in the present moment. So it's a little different if you're including a flashback and you want to include the past tense and then change it to present tense, but there should be that shift in your setting, and that should be made apparent to your reader. So the first thing we're going to look at is whether or not we should use was or were. So I want you to read these two statements and figure out which one is correct. You don't need to write them down, it's just something to think about. If I were you, I wouldn't drive down this road at night. Or if I was you, I wouldn't drive down this road at night. So I want you to think about which one you would kind of be more inclined to write without thinking about it too much. And now think about which one is in the present tense and which one is in the future tense or the past tense, and how that changes the meaning of the sentence. So we're going to go on to the next slide, which gives you the correct answer. If I were you, I wouldn't drive down this road at night. And the reason that we're using were instead of was is because you are wondering if something could happen. If I was to be you, and that sounds weird when you say it out loud. So if I were you, I wouldn't drive down this road at night. So I want you to make sure that you're writing down the second and third bullet on the slide here. So we have the correct answer. If I were you, I wouldn't drive down this road at night. And that's because there's two different rules for was and were. When you wish for something or wonder if something could happen, so you're thinking about the future tense, you're going to use were. And as you should know by now, was is the past tense of the verb to be, and is. So if it's something that could happen or has already happened, you would use was instead of were. So I'll give you a few minutes to write that down. And you feel free to pause the video to make sure you get all the notes. And again, you're writing down the second and the third bullet. Alright, so now we're going to move on to doesn't and didn't, and you're going to tell me which one is correct, and make sure that you're paying attention to the two verbs that we're using here. So we have, that hat didn't fit me because it is too small, or that hat doesn't fit me because it is too small. So again, just take a minute to think about those two and the verbs that are used in the sentence. And the next slide is going to tell us the correct answer. I hope you have your correct answer in mind. Let's see if you were right. That hat doesn't fit me because it is too small. So the reason that doesn't is the correct answer and not didn't is because if you look right over here, you have the primary verb as is. Is the present tense. Didn't means that it already happened. So if you went tied on a hat and it didn't fit, so if you're saying that the hat doesn't fit because it is too small, both of those are taking place in the present tense. So if we go back to our notes, we're looking at past tense versus future tense. And you need to write down the second, third, and fourth bullet for these notes. Everything that happens in the present must be written in the present tense. So if it doesn't fit me right now, it is too small right now. For things that happen in the past, it must be written in the past tense, and of course everything that happens in the future must be written in the future tense. And if you need to shorthand this, you can. You don't have to write all those words. You can kind of write your own annotations as long as you have the information. And then feel free to pause the video if you need more time to write the notes down. And this last slide here, you'll get a printout next time I see you. It has present, past, and past participle of certain verbs that are a little difficult to sometimes remember what the correct tense for them is. So what you need to do for homework is you need to complete the Google form that is on Google Classroom to kind of showcase that you understand the different types of verb tenses and how we use them in writing. Thanks!